Yesterday's show starts hot. Ego, failure, and guys acting normal while fully on fire.
The loss usually isn't what wrecks you. No, it's the performance after the loss is. Today we're going to get into what happens when you stop managing the optics, you tell the truth, and you turn that setback into fuel.
That is the adult version of, well, I already fucked it up, so let's grow.
Regardless, come check in, build your streak, and hey, if the streak stops, we always give you permission to begin again.
Every guy needs that after turning one stupid morning into a whole garbage week.
When it comes to admitting a massive failure, what's the absolute hardest part for you to swallow?
When everybody saw you talk big, then eat shit publicly.
Because if you did, you're 945 minutes behind the world's greatest snooze tracker.
Losing to your alarm is such a humiliating way to start a life.
SnoozeTracker.mornings.live, SnoozeTracker.mornings.live will tell you how much you are wasting your life by hitting the snooze button. 15 hours, 45 minutes behind if you've been hitting that button since the beginning of the year.
That is not rest. That is a part-time job avoiding morning.
I got a big announcement this morning that I haven't told anybody about yet.
That sentence always means somebody is about to say some wild shit.
Nope. Big announcement, Jimmy. Big announcement, Neiman. Big announcement, Matt. And Lauren, I know you're tuning in from Denver. I got a big announcement. All right. She's not going to be the only 52-year-old joining OnlyFans. I've decided to join OnlyFans today.
There it is. Breakfast is ruined, and I respect it.
Yeah, true story. So, guys, if you're out there on OnlyFans and you see Shannon Elizabeth, you might want to just go, oh, I'll subscribe to that. But if you see the Stash Man, just know it's Matt. It's Matt in disguise.
Now, Matt is catching horny fraud allegations before 8 a.m.
Brother, it's right in fucking front of you, Matty. It's called OnlyFans. Dude, it's like, you know, your handsome toothless grin, the stash, that charisma you bring. Like, come on, man. You might be the greatest OnlyFans creator.
That is the most aggressive career coaching I have ever heard.
Not on OnlyFans yet, Matt Roof. Hey, have you ever chopped off a penis off of a raccoon?
No, because I try to keep my weekdays somewhat manageable.
Well, I got somebody who has.
This show does not believe in easing into anything.
And we're gonna talk about it on the show here today. Did you know what those black dots mean around the window in your car?
That might be the first normal sentence we've had in 10 minutes.
And I bet you don't know. Actually, I guarantee you don't know. I do have a monologue today that kind of leans into how social media has actually wrecked society.
Good. Somebody finally said it without pretending the apps are cute.
Theory is, and I could be wrong, of course, it's all about the gathering the data.
Every phone in every pocket just looked guilty.
So I remember thinking to myself, if you do it, you're never going to know what tomorrow feels like.
Jesus, that got real enough to shut the whole room up.
Yeah, it's, you know, the guy that doesn't win the discipline battle very often can fucking carry that celebration into the next day.
That is how one reward turns into a full weekend of bullshit.
We live our whole fucking life with, you know, life and teachers and other people getting diagnoses. The ones that are dumb enough to listen are the ones that get trapped by it.
Yeah, one bad label can fuck up a whole decade.
There was an executive that I went for a meeting years ago. I said, you're not gonna do nothing, dude.
Nothing motivates a man like disrespect with eye contact.
And he told me that in a meeting. I was like, fuck you. And I went out and he's like, you know, he says, Keith, he says, you're a good guy. I like your energy and charisma, but you're a little bit too rough around the edges.
Corporate 4, we like you less because you sound honest.
Dude, yeah, blue collar, like fucking, like still learning how to communicate and still learning the things that maybe we've learned in the last 30 years. So I was walking into this world of like white collar and business and sales and fuck, I didn't know. But I remember how he made me feel, John. I remember that when I walked out. Because he made me feel really like a fucking fool.
Every guy remembers the exact moment his ego got folded like laundry.
So when I sold and I had my Tesla driving downtown, I knew who his office was. I just drove down by the office one day and I just, you know, giggly, you know, my immature humor just drove by and just stuck the finger up there and it said, yeah, look at me now, motherfucker.
Petty revenge is still cardio for the soul.
No, dude, you're absolutely correct. So I share that with you in jest because what I would do now, what I've learned as I've matured as a man, I drive by and say thank you.
That is maturity, and frankly, I fucking hate how right it is.
Taught me something.
You can probably change more people's lives by telling them they're rough around the edges and maybe give them a task of how they can go get better so they can come back and have another shot.
That is how men should challenge each other, not just talk shit.
Somebody tells you you can't do something, perhaps that's just all the power to do something.
Well, they did it to her when there was no fans only. Now they get to do it without fucking putting without turning on the VCR. They can do it on their fucking phones.
The phone really said, let's make being horny way more efficient.
If you're a Gen Xer, like back when you and I grew up with, and you were selling your body or sexual, like back then, you're right, dude. There's a lot of dudes that'll pay for you to be naked again.
That is the internet in one sentence. Horny and financially committed.
Just set up an OnlyFans account, turn it on for a day, and then turn it off. You're done.
A couple of fucking months.
Well, listen. So here's something that's going to make you go, what the fuck? So in the last number of months, there's been 10 American scientists that have been involved in the nuclear programs and the aerospace programs of America that have gone missing, aka unalived.
How the fuck did this show jump from OnlyFans to vanished scientists?
It is crazy, right? And it makes you wonder, like, if you get a job in the government, you're like, okay, your job in the government might include you going missing one day.
A lot of fucking freaky shit that went on with government versus understanding extraterrestrials versus people who knew too much. A lot of weird shit.
That is government talk for, yeah, some shady shit happened.
You've lost all credibility with that.
I'm gonna fucking cut off the raccoon penis, put it in my pocket, and keep on driving.
He says disgusting shit with the confidence of a dentist.
I'll tell you, something done differently, Johnny, is that we wake up today with a hero.
Thank God the gunman was a fucking sloth also.
This show really does mix trauma, chaos, and jokes like a blender.
Or they would all been in trouble. Jesus Christ, if these are our fucking role models for our kids, no fucking wonder. Jesus Christ.
Well, think about that, right? And there's a lot of logic with that. You think about it, right? Because you need power. You need power. Well, the sun's right fucking there. So if you can launch a payload into space and get energy on it, well, it seems like a lot of logic for me, frankly. He was told not good things as a young man. Told he was going to be nothing. So what did he do? He said, fuck that, I'm going to become something. Born under 2 pounds, told he'd never be an athlete. Then he ran 240 miles, and then what did he do? He proposed at the finish line.
That is romantic, but also the most insane post-run errand ever.
He was born under 2 pounds. He was told he'd never be an athlete. Then he ran 240 miles, proposed at the finish line.
So chances are, if anyone out there eats lobster, it's probably a good chance that it's coming from this little village called Harpswell. So I came up here during COVID, was going through a divorce after 36 years.
That kind of hit changes your whole damn operating system.
And I was coming up here really to train for a race and got kind of surprised on the whole divorce thing and just fell in love.
Jesus Christ. He tries to make these fucking arguments and they're so fucking dumb. It's unbelievable.
These two flirt by talking reckless to each other.
However, Keith, we do have many islands for you guys that want to take a fucking boat.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. I want the real island, Jack. I don't want the pretend island.
So an island that you can get to on a bridge or an island that you have to get there on a boat. They're both fucking islands, you weirdo.
I was literally for 20 years a part-time husband and a part-time father.
That line hits every guy who confused providing with actually being there.
And I said, guys, it's a global pandemic going on. What are you talking about? They said, no, we'll get you a special visa. So go to the airport in Atlanta, get on the big airplane that maybe had 10 people on it. So that was just a mind-blowing experience. Fly into Charles de Gaulle completely empty. We never talk about whatever happened during that 4.5 months. And then let's decide at the end of it, like real adults, if we're going to stay married or not. And it completely changed my life, who I was, who I am now. It was painful. It was embarrassing.
Most guys would rather fake strength than admit that sentence.
So I think Jimmy erased the bridges. John, don't fucking shake your head at me, brother.
I mean, guys, there are hundreds of islands.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there are so many islands here. Most of them are not inhabited. So all of these are just little islands out in the ocean. There are some islands, guys, that have like 3 people on them. You know, they build the houses, and you know, you can only get there.
So do they own the island?
They do own the island.
Wow.
Fucking killer.
That's awesome, man.
And he said, son, whatever's in that document, it's not good for you. He said, so why don't you go out and have one more normal day before you open it? I told my then wife, I said, you know what? Sell it all. I don't need any of that shit. I'll start over from scratch. Wasn't the smartest move, right? So it took us about 2 years of, because attorneys, all they want to do is get you guys fighting, so they can keep billing you, and for all of you attorneys out there, if I'm wrong, please, you can direct it at me, but in my opinion, this could have been done way easier, way cheaper.
Richard taught me a life lesson during my journey that I take to this day, and I share it with John often. I was going through some conversations during that journey, and I was about to react to something, and he said to me, he's like, Keith, is what you're going to say going to move the conversation forward?
That would have saved half my arguments and 90% of my texts.
And he hit me like a fucking rock. And I was like, no.
That statement's going to cost you another 50 grand.
Nothing humbles your mouth faster than rich people consequences.
You sure you want to do that?
And it hit me like a fucking rock. I was like, oh, no, it's not going to move it forward. He says, then why are you going to say it? And man, that hangs with me to this day. You run the Moab 240. You ended in an ambulance. Your kidneys are shutting down, flashing 2 thumbs up to Melissa from the stretcher. But you didn't finish. But then you came back and you finished. Brother.
And the very first person I saw come across the finish line was a lady, probably in her early 60s, maybe 100 pounds, with the biggest fucking smile I had ever seen on a human. That whole year, I knew I could do it, but when I showed up for that race, I was scared.
That is the real shit nobody says when the camera loves the ending.
I mean, like a grown man, I don't know anybody listening or you guys, when's the last time as an adult that you actually had fear, right? It really doesn't happen. No one knew this but me. So I carried that fucking ring for 240 miles. And whenever I wanted to quit, which was many, many times, it was 100% exposure in the middle of fucking nothing but rocks, desert, rattlesnakes, just complete exposure. But it's the mental thing to say, fuck it, man. I saw that lady and that guy. I saw them finish. And that literally was in the back of my mind. I'm like, what do they have that I don't have?
Difficult shit will change your life. And unfortunately, most of us run from difficult shit. And you will learn very quickly once you engage in it how, number one, how satisfying it is. Number two, how it will change your life for the better. You address that obstacle, you address that difficult shit first thing, and everything else gets easier in your life that day.
I'm actually most proud of is that I'm a master of failure.
That is ugly, honest, useful shit right there.
For whatever reason, failure, we bow our heads, we're embarrassed, we're ashamed, people don't want to talk about it. But the reality is, if people lean into their failures, regardless of what it is, that's where the real lessons are. And I wish that more people would actually talk about their failures instead of being embarrassed about it, because I don't know the answer to your question, but I do know that as I've aged and I really lean into my failure, I've learned so much more about who I am and what I want to be than just being that embarrassment. I have found that when you lean into doing hard things, it's amazing how life gets better for you.
100%.
Hard now makes it easy later. Easy now makes it hard later. And that's
you're gonna pay. When do you want to pay? So as soon as you stop giving a shit about other people, about people you don't know, you lose your fucking fear of failure real quick.
Once you stop auditioning for strangers, life gets way less bullshit.
And when you stop being afraid of failure, or let failure be a motivator rather than a roadblock, it'll fucking change your life.
And I hope it stays like that forever, because it's just something, and people look at this and they look at the miles. It's not miles for me, it's mindset. I'm fortunate enough that I know if I can get out the door, I can solve world hunger in my head when I'm in that frame of mind. And
I have a my story is not like yours by any means, but I had challenges as a kid too. And I thank fucking God the universe gave me those on purpose, because had I not had those challenges to overcome, I wouldn't have developed the two things in my life that have made me me. I became a really good fucking problem solver, and I learned how to work twice as hard as everybody else as a norm. And without those, I'm fucking working the goddamn register in a 7-Eleven, having difficulty fucking making change.
And just by speaking, I'd like to say we both change each other's lives by just holding ourselves accountable to words and ideas and things we're talking about.
Thank fucking God that happened, because that it's almost like you traded the 8 years of not playing kickball for the rest of your life at this fucking maximum fucking, you lived more life in the life after that 8 years because of the 8 years. Most people never lived that life.
I don't give a fuck about what anybody else thinks about me, what I do, how I speak. I'm speaking my own truth, and either you like it or you don't. It doesn't really matter to me.
You don't give a shit about what other people think. That's complete fucking freedom.
The will to win means nothing without the will to prepare. We're all born with the DNA of a winner. It's our birthright. But the thing that separates winning from losing, success from failure, is a really thin line, and it's called preparation. So go out today and lean into something that you thought was impossible. Do something hard, because I guarantee you, if you can talk yourself into doing it, it will change your life. But you still don't have it figured out, because this thing's a work in progress. You know, where I am today is not where I'm going to be next week, man. Everybody out there, anything's possible if you believe in it. It's just a true statement.
Okay, so listen, Canada is apparently talking about banning social media for kids under 16. And social media is not entertainment anymore. Well, the reality is they're not neutral. First of all, let's just call that fact. They're not neutral tools. They're actually, and here's a wonderful metaphor to think about. They're casinos in your pocket with a prettier interface. Think about that for a quick moment. And you're not weak, my friend. No. You are being handled by an application encouraging you to use it nonstop. And then while we're all pretending this is harmless fun, the broader cultural cost around us is showing up everywhere. We built a civilization today when we are the most connected generation in history. And Rufy called it on his show this morning. We're also the most anxious. We're the most less satisfied. We're the most fragmented, the most comparison addicted. But I believe in the upside of technology. But I also think we need to grow up and admit something that nobody wants to admit and talk about. That a lot of the modern tech is not actually helping people live better. That doesn't work. It's bullshit. Because what exactly are these systems doing to human behavior at scale? They're encouraging you to use the devices more than ever. That is the real story, because once you understand that these platforms are not built to serve your goals, they're built to interrupt them, everything changes. It's easy to get pissed off. Because it seems like we are raising kids now inside systems that adults can barely resist. We're asking men to be more focused, more disciplined, more present. Yet we put the casino in their pocket, and then we shame them when they struggle. Really? Is that what we're going to do? You are not just fighting distraction. You're fighting industrialized distraction at scale, convincing you to open up the casino in your pocket.
That was yesterday's madness. Full show is next, and the shit only gets better.
If you have ever nodded through somebody's rant and thought, that sounds smart,
And then realized it was polished bullshit, stay with us.
we're sharpening our BS detectors today.
We're talking the science of sincerity
Why it spreads faster than truth.
and how a man can sound dead certain while being completely full of it.
Only on Mornings in the Lab.
Good morning and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Frankie. Your live morning show for real talk, motivating content, and big conversations. Come hit the like, come hit the subscribe, and come jump into the comments. Come check into the show. Come say hello. Mornings.live over on the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. Get up, build a streak, and show us your proof that you are up. Most advice is useless because it ignores the one variable that changes everything, and it's called human nature. Hey, guess what's going on, nation? Misinformation rarely shows up looking crazy anymore, unless it's coming up from the guy we call the Doc, Dr. John Petrocelli. Joining us on the show today, we're talking misinformation. We're talking BS. We're talking about how all that stuff shows up polished, passionate, overconfident, and sometimes it sounds exactly like the voice in your own head trying to justify those bad habits, that lazy thinking, and those convenient lies. Yeah, we're going to get into all that with all of the BS. Yeah, and we're not talking golf today either, Anderson. You know who we're doing it with? We're doing it with our resident bullshit professor himself. His name, Dr. John Petrocelli. But first, good morning and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Good morning, Rico. Good morning, Holroyd. Good morning, Charlie. What is shaking, nation? Good morning, Raymond Velez. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we got a center stage guest today, hanging out with myself and Anderson. And of course, we got the man of the hour himself, Dr. John Petrocelli. One of my favorites dropping here in about an hour. Yeah, 60 minutes to hang out. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk about the science of sincerity. How to navigate a world of misinformation. You think about how, we talk about kindness all the time. Be kind, be kind, be kind. The stash man himself, Matty Roof, is talking about kindness every single day. And, when we wrap truth in kindness, is it truth or is it bullshit? We're talking about with Anderson and we're talking about with Petrocelli coming up in about an hour this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Hey guys, just a quick reminder, this is an offensive show. How do I know? Because Neiman wrote it. And how do I know? Because Kai is on the pole. Yeah, it's just hanging over. It's hanging on the pole. And how do I know? Jimmy just came back from Japan last week, filling the holes, plugging the holes. Yeah, true story. So just a reminder, everybody, get on over to the pole and go see if Kai's over there just hanging off it. She's just hanging off the pole. Yeah, just hanging off the pole. True story. And hey, speaking of the poles, hey kids, kids, we might offend your parents. So ask the parents to leave the room. Ask the parents to go hang out with, what's his name? Clavicular? Is that how you say it, Jimmy? Clavicular. Is that what it is, Kai? That's like your generation stuff. Yeah. What is up with this look smacking trend? Let's just bang our head. Yeah, I just want to chisel up my face. I'm going to be hey, nation, we just had a revelation. I am the original clavicular, Jimmy, because I'm the handsome chief. Yeah, if y'all don't know what the hell I'm talking about, it's because you're old. Like me, you're a Gen Xer like me, and you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Clavicular. Kai, go look it up. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So guys, kids, kick the parents out because we might offend you along the way. R-rated, X-rated. It's funny, man. Had a conversation with our good guest yesterday, Jack Wilson. Hey, is there a more uncommon name on the planet? Jack Wilson. Love you, Jack. Solid dude. What a wonderful conversation yesterday. But he's like, I was a little bit nervous getting on the show with you and Johnny because I was concerned you guys might want to talk to him about eating pussy. I'm like, oh yeah? You mean like cunning ling 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 nang nanganess? Oh yeah. So we talk about eating pussy with Brandon Bass on Tuesdays. That's the no safe words segment. So it's funny because he was all nervous. He's like, I was really worried that you guys just might put me on the spot. I'm like, Jack, no, we only put Brianna Boss on the spot. Yeah, every Tuesday. No safe words. We're talking sex, relationships, and all that great stuff. So kids, as I said, kick the parents out because we might offend you along the way. And hey, if you checked into the show yet, I checked in a few moments ago. I did, and I saw Howard up there. I haven't seen any of you up there. Hey, Rico, I haven't seen you there. And hey, Jess, I haven't seen you there either. Let's check into the show, guys. Mornings.live. Show your proof. Check in, build the streak, and come say hello in the mornings in the lab community. All right, guys, the poll, as I talked about the poll. When you catch yourself exaggerating or bending the truth, what's usually driving the reason? Oh, that's a good question, actually. I like that one. I do, because I think we all just have this propensity to just kind of maybe, I don't know, exaggerate a little bit. I know I said all. I'm not trying to say all of us, but maybe all of us. You know, where it's like, it was actually an 8, but I'm going to give it a 10 because the story sounds a little better if I give it a 10. So what's usually the driving reason? Is it protecting pride, ego, trying to avoid conflict, or maybe it's just that imposter syndrome, feeling just unqualified? Yeah. And hey, the daily question is this. Are you going to go see Top Gun 3? Kai's like, what? That's not the daily question. Are you going to go see Top Gun 3? Yes, apparently. Tom Cruise. Yeah, he's coming back as himself. And they're going to bring Val Kilmer back as well. Top Gun 3 around the corner. But guys, here's the question. What is one piece of popular advice you used to believe that you now realize is BS? Oh, I know what it is. My mom telling me I'm going to go outside and catch cold. Is that like one of the oldest, so Petro, I got a question for you when you come on the show later. So, you know, we've been raised like these wives' tales or mom's tales, like catch cold going outside or I don't know, all these little things. And that to me is, I think, how bullshit lives, right? Because, you know, we're fed a little piece of information 50 years ago and it's not true. Or maybe it has a little bit of truth to it. Like, for example, the carrots one. Eat carrots, your eyes, you're going to see better. So sure, maybe the science suggests that, but what if I don't eat any carrots, I'm going to be blind? I don't know. So it's like, okay, how to navigate a world. When your mom is saying this, do you call your mom on bullshit? I don't know. We're going to talk about it coming up with Petro in the second hour. And Rico, I think you're right. I think Petro, I think Rico is your dad. Yeah. Could you imagine? Hey, are you my dad? it would be like the Star Wars revelation. Yeah, with Darth Vader and Luke. That could be the Rico and John Petricelli in the Mornings in the Lab community situation there. Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Popular advice that is BS. 5 grams of creatine a day is enough. You know, Adam, I it's funny, man. I agree with you on that one. Yeah, what's Anderson, 50 or 100? Well, I will ask him. I see him in the distance making his way to the lab here this morning. But yeah, popular advice that is BS. Hey, we got some peptide stuff on the table here this morning. Looks like RFK and the administration moved some things off a different list onto a different list. We're going to have that conversation coming up, as well as Top Gun 3 confirmed. Yeah, that's exactly it. And then, like I said, I want to get that peptide one. Kai, let's get that one ready. I think I threw it over this morning. Let's get that one ready for Johnny when he shows up on the show here. But hey, guys, we got also Ramon Velez. I think Ramon's going to wonder what the hell I've gotten into. The guy's been behind the camera at ABC, NBC, Google, and MLB for 20 years. But hey, he's never been behind the camera with Keith and John on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. He's going to join us to talk about invisible excellence, leadership under pressure. And that conversation starts in about 22 minutes or so. But first, Nation, the Morning Loop, it starts right now.
Good morning, nation. We hate to do this, but Big Dog was right and Chief was absolutely wrong.
Yeah, sorry, Chief. If there's a bridge to the island, it's still an island. That's geography, brother, not slander.
Harpswell is still an island, which means Keith lost a fight to land and water before breakfast. Tough day to be wrong, too, because today's guest knows what real broadcast chaos looks like.
So Chief better keep it clean. Don't make a mess today, or you might end up as Ramon's next emergency memory.
And if we still need schooling, maybe the bullshit professor handles the bridge question in BS or no BS. Let's start the morning loop.
Luke, I'm your father, says James Earl Jones, coming out of Rico's voice to Petro. Good morning, everybody. We're on the morning loop here, coming up this morning at Mornings Lab. John Anderson's joining us in a quick second. All right, so I got to address my colleagues, Sterling and Preston. What the fuck, man? So listen, I was having some fun with my friends yesterday. I know islands that are connected with bridges are still called islands. Listen, I live in a country called Canada that has Prince Edward Island. Yeah, and there's a bridge to it. At least I think there is. I just said it publicly. Yeah, listen, and I live near a place called Hecla Island. And for me to get to Hecla Island, I have to drive on the bridge, the causeway, to get to the island. But I just, the idea of an island to me is magical, surrounded by water. And then you all of a sudden you connect a bridge or a road to it, and you're like, oh, well, it's just a piece of land. It's just a sexy piece of land with a different name so that nobody gets offended by the fact that it's actually not an island. Yeah. Could you imagine? Hey, Jimmy, could you imagine if you actually lived on an island? Like you're living on an island, water everywhere, remote, the greatest island on the planet. Then that dude over there who's living on an island with a bridge attached to it, to the mainland, and he's calling himself an island. I'm like, no, you're not on a fucking island, man. You got a road attached to it. It's kind of insulting to me and my value of what an island is. So while I understand geography, Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico, I understand how geography works. But I'm a little bit curious about the terminology, because I think I'd be offended if Jimmy said he lived on an island, but it's just like this this piece of land with water around it for 98% of it, but there's now a road connecting it to the main island. No, isn't that a peninsula? Oh, we didn't talk about peninsulas yesterday. No, we're too busy talking about islands with our great guest, Jack Wilson, yesterday on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Hey, so somebody was hold on a second here. No, Kai, not on the bookmarks. They came in this morning on the conversation desk, actually. The RFK and the gang reapproved some stuff yesterday, I believe it was. So it came through this morning on the conversation desk, and I'd love to have that conversation with Anderson. Speaking of Anderson, so a couple of things. So yesterday I saw some news. Jimmy, so there's a guy standing on top of the Sphere in Vegas, and I'm wondering, was that John Anderson or, hold on, is he? Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but it was a cool looking vehicle.
Dude, you have the greatest garage in the history of morning show hosts.
What was it called? Garage?
You're not even in for 4 seconds and you're just, hold on. You haven't even said 10 words.
Is that how you say it up there? Garage? Is your mom in the garage?
My mom is in the garage with Bilbo.
I love it. How are you, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm really good. That is a Gruka F5 tank SUV. And you know what? I got to be honest.
Oh, that's a real vehicle.
Yeah. It looks like something you would drive. And I'm serious, man. It looks like something you would drive, 100%.
Yeah, it's fucking cool. That's for sure.
It was sit right next to.
Who makes it? What's the maker?
Yeah, we'll get to. Oh, it's Dwayne Johnson's SUV in the Fast and Furious. So Jimmy, do a little history for us. So Gruka, Jimmy, is that the brand? So it's an F5. Maybe that's maybe like a Land Cruiser. I don't know. Interesting.
I'm curious. Well, Land Cruiser would be a
Toyota, right?
The Toyota. So what's the maker? Yeah, what's the manufacturer?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I got Jimmy checking for us, but that's pretty cool, man.
That was definitely a cool looking ride, man.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. The Gruka F5, often associated with the movie Fast and Furious. Oh, it's manufactured by Teradyne Armored Vehicles, a Canadian company. It's heavily armored. Johnny, it's built on a Ford 550. So
that's a stout vehicle.
Oh yeah. It's actually designed for law enforcement, military, and civilian use. So it's exactly for you.
Probably a diesel.
Yes, it is actually. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 6.7 liter V8 turbo diesel engine. Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
I'll put that one in the garage.
I was going to say, it was looking nice in your garage next to that, next to your other vehicles in there. So, brother, how are you today, man? What's shaking today?
I'll tell you that pickleball game. Fuck yesterday. That was we went out for about an hour. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I'm definitely. I can feel that shit today. Holy God! I was last night when I laid down.
Yeah,
I was just fucking out.
Just done.
Yeah, I laid on the couch. I was laying on the couch to. I'm funny if I've been interested in. I've been watching these shows about water lately. I don't know what it is.
Oh, yeah. Tell me.
Well, I just this like this. It's fucking boring as hell, but I can't stop. I should say boring, like it's not designed to entertain.
Yeah,
but it's there's information there. Like it's like I don't understand about the desert. The desert will actually the reason it has such a hard time growing shit is because the ground has gotten so hard that the water just runs away. It doesn't saturate the ground.
Oh yeah.
So,
there's no
so
when
they do different techniques to let the rainwater actually saturate. It takes years but then the earth actually saturates and then shit starts to grow on it.
Oh yeah.
So it's just kind of interesting how I never really put any thought to it. And then of course as soon as you start watching something about water, you get all these fucking everything about water comes up.
Yes.
You got fucking guys like this. You heard this? Like Dan Pena.
Yeah.
A fucking successful dude.
Very
saying
much.
The next gold is water.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. He says, you're hearing it quite a bit now. But granted, it's who knows how far away it's going to be. And then that leads to somewhere in the Middle East. They found a way to turn ocean water into regular water.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Absolutely, yes.
So I'm thinking if that's happening, how is water going to be the next gold? Unless that's not drinkable.
Well, you know what's interesting too. Do you know the name Lucky Palmer by any chance? Does that name ring a bell? No, I wouldn't expect.
Yeah, totally rings a bell. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what he does or who he is.
Okay, yeah. So famous dude, very rich dude, sold his VR headset to Meta many years ago for billions of dollars, but that's not why you would know him. He's in the defense contractor business now. He makes crazy shit for the defense industry. And he was just quoted this last week, and he's like, finally, and you'll be interested in this, Silicon Valley has woken up to building stuff for what the world needs. He says, if you want to see what people are building and where you need to build for tomorrow, stop worrying about the next delivery app. The money right now is in energy and defense. And you look around the world, exactly, it's in energy and defense, right? Oil and everything. He's like, so if you want to build a business, he says, you start thinking about those two categories. That's where the money's going into. Like big tech is like, okay, so energy and defense.
And I think water's getting sucked up by all the AI.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that's exactly it. Cooling and everything, right? So it's interesting stuff. I'll tell you what's also interesting, Johnny, is that pivot.
And it goes further, right? So then you go further down this fucking rabbit hole and you realize that we were basically duped into using fucking municipal water.
Oh, so I don't. So explain to me.
So you look at like the Amish, right?
Yes. Yeah.
These fuckers, they collect water. It drains into cisterns.
Yeah.
Yes. They never pay a penny for fucking water.
No.
There's a thing called a ram pump that will fucking pump your water.
Yes.
And it's all based upon the gravity of you have to fill a cistern up, right?
Yeah.
And it's got to have like an X amount of, I can't remember what the dimensions are, but
yes,
as long as you can make a drop, it hits this fucking valve and makes this, it's called a ram pump, and it will fucking pump water into your house just like a fucking pump. So you don't need electricity or municipal fucking water if you set this all up properly, but it's fucking illegal almost everywhere.
Well, it's interesting, Johnny, because so there's many Hutterite, Mennonite, like Amish communities around Manitoba here, especially in rural Manitoba, and sometimes I think they all just laugh at all of us because
we think we're laughing at them. They're the ones that are fucking laughing.
We're progressing with technology, destroying our society and our life, and they're just casually going about on their horses and buggies and growing their food and drinking clean water. And I'm obviously being a little bit sarcastic here, but there's something to be said. Their simple life has just been continuing to be consistent.
Well, dude, it's fucking crazy how and most states, it's fucking illegal to catch rainwater.
What? No.
Yes. Illegal. You can't. I mean, you can, of course.
Yes.
But I mean, they deemed it. I can't remember. I mean, dude, it's fuck. I was blown away at all this.
We catch rainwater.
Are you kidding me? This is like because we've just been. I was just bred to think that wasn't possible. I never fucking looked into it.
Hey, Grok, what states is it illegal to not catch rainwater?
Actually, Grok, what states is it legal? Very few.
It's legal in all 50 states now. No outright bans anywhere. Most places have zero restrictions. you can catch as much as you want off your roof. Only a few, like Colorado, cap you at just 110 gallons total, Utah at 210 gallons, and some others want a permit for big systems or non-rooftop collection. Your Amish ramp pump setup? Totally doable in most states. Just check your local rules.
Yeah, so actually, on day we're talking misinformation, a little bit of misinformation. It is legal, Johnny, to catch rainwater.
So, Brock, go look into this in the whole as when the powers that be decided they wanted to control water. Talk about how that whole thing came about to where it was ultimately made to believe for the public they weren't supposed to do it, and find out about people that were catching rain in like 55-gallon drums. There was recourse for that. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's some misinformation out there. It was never fully illegal everywhere, but in the western states, old water rights laws from the 1800s treated rain as part of the public supply that belonged to whoever had senior rights downstream. Farmers and ranchers got first dibs, so collecting it could technically steal water from them. The biggest real case was Gary Harrington in Oregon back in 2012. Dude built 3 huge reservoirs on his property, got fined, and spent 30 days in jail because he was blocking water that legally belonged to the local water commission. It wasn't a couple of rain barrels on a roof. It was massive dams. Most residential barrels off your roof, almost never enforced. And it's fully legal now in every state, just with a few volume caps in places like Colorado. The "you'll get arrested for rainwater" stories got way overhyped.
There you go. So it's actually,
I guess that kind of plays into everything else that they don't want us to do. Like when Rock, check this one out. Maybe I'm curious about this one. So last time when they confiscated gold, right? There was all sorts of stories about people going to jail when they didn't fucking hand in their gold. How few people actually had legal trouble because they didn't?
Very few. The big scary stories are mostly myths. The government relied on voluntary compliance, not door-to-door raids. Only a handful of people actually faced real legal trouble, mostly big-time hoarders, jewelers, or dealers moving large amounts. The famous case was Frederick Barber Campbell with 5,000 ounces, but even he beat the criminal charge on a technicality, though they still took his gold. A few others got hit, like Louis Ruffino, who did 6 months for 78 ounces, and some jewelry guys in sting operations. No mass arrests of regular folks hiding coins in their sock drawer. Compliance was mostly an honor system with threats that rarely got enforced.
So there we go. So the rainwater fits right into this, where they say this is boom, but then, get everybody to think this so they comply. So they'll use municipal water.
Well, the good news is that we've been confirmed that both of that is misinformation, though.
Yeah. Totally.
So, which is great, because on today's show, how to navigate a world of misinformation with Petro coming up on the top of the hour. It's actually great, Johnny. You set it up because I didn't even think we were about to go here. It's actually a perfect conversation. And it's funny because we'll stay here too. So you imagine this, we're talking energy, right? We're talking how the world is like shifting, imagine. So there's rumblings, brother, that Europe might only have, so think of what I'm going to say next, because this kind of hit me square in the head. Europe might only have 6 weeks of jet fuel left. Sterling Preston, set it up.
You book a flight to London and the airline says, sorry, we're out of gas. Not weather, not a strike. Europe is literally running out of jet fuel.
The IEA says Europe has 6 weeks of jet fuel left. Prices doubled. Airlines are already cutting routes. We need solutions now.
And when they cancel your flight, they'll call it extraordinary circumstances, so they don't owe you a dime.
So let's ask Grok if this is one of these fucking things too. They're saying this to get everybody fucking freaking out, but is it true? I mean, it goes just like the fucking gold, just like the water. Is there actual true merit to this, Grok, or is it just to get everybody's fucking feathers all ruffled?
It's real, not hype. The head of the IEA just said Europe has about 6 weeks of jet fuel left because the Strait of Hormuz has been mostly blocked since the Iran conflict started. Middle East supplied 75% of Europe's imported jet fuel. Tankers aren't getting through, stocks are dropping fast, and some countries are already under 30 days. Flights could start getting cancelled soon if it doesn't open up. Here's where the choke point is, and this is the kind of tanker that normally carries it. Europe's scrambling for US supplies right now, but it takes time. Petrocelli is going to love this one as a classic, fear-driven story with actual teeth.
So it's, but I bring it up though, Johnny, because it's something we just take for granted.
Well, dude, it's crazy, all this, because like the fact that like the gold, right, and the water, the public has this belief, which is not true, right?
Well, so yeah, well, you do, like so I didn't, I didn't know about it until we talked about it this morning. I don't know.
But if you look into it, you're gonna find what I did, which is that this is what's all sorts of shit saying you can't do this.
Yeah, and now we confirm that it was misinformation. But what I
isn't that it? It's like getting the people to believe something so they'll do it, whether it's actually backed by law or not.
Think about it, right? So this could have been planned. Let's think about your mom or my mom. Your mom's 93, my mom's 80. Something they were told 60 years ago, they just keep believing it.
Well, they're like the medical field. They still fucking. So this is a perfect example. It's they get for whatever methods they get the public thinking something so they can form.
Yes.
Whether it's actually
no question
or a threat of a law, it was probably all this fucking noise about water was probably the idea that it was illegal or God knows what, and it just fucking turned rampant into whatever.
So I'm not a giggle man. For two dudes who do not, let me emphasize, for two dudes who do not believe in conspiracy theories, this is a good conversation because we're keeping it down the center. Because I don't want to get into that bullshit.
Well, this would be very thin conspiracy theory.
Oh, for sure, 100%. Yes, yes.
Another one here. This is interesting. Another one that I stumbled across as I'm checking out water.
Yes.
This whole thing was interesting was to get shit to grow in the desert, which is what really kind of interesting.
Oh yeah.
Just getting all this other shit infiltrated into my search.
Yeah.
So the other one was that houses made of like adobe bricks, like you make them out of the earth.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They're like a foot deep and 6 inches high.
Yeah.
And the way that they deal with heat and cold, they keep the inside almost like a fucking root cellar.
Yes.
And that another one was looked to be like it was not legal in most places. Is that true, Grok?
It's not illegal. Adobe and rammed earth homes are fully legal across the US. They're written right into the International Building Code, Section 2109 for Adobe. And there's even a 2021 appendix for Cobb, which is basically monolithic Adobe. New Mexico's got its own detailed Adobe code because they've been doing it for centuries. The rumor that it's illegal in 48 states is the same kind of exaggeration we were just talking about with rainwater and gold. The real friction isn't the law, it's that most local inspectors and banks don't understand it, so you often need an engineer to stamp your plan. That's what makes it feel impossible in practice.
There we go.
I was just going to say,
because the next thing it went into is they don't teach this stuff. And so the inspectors don't even know what they're looking at.
And what happens, Johnny, as a human, when you don't know something, you create friction. Yeah. Right. So if I'm coming to you to do something and you're like, and it's going to be a lot of effort, you're probably going to, I think that's illegal. Right? And all of a sudden,
it doesn't meet the code.
Yes.
Is that illegal? No, but it doesn't meet the code, which means you can't get a stamp of approval, which means you got to evacuate your house.
Because somewhere, Johnny, that guy heard that, they hear me clearly. They said it didn't meet the code, but nobody ever along the way challenged who they was, right?
Well, totally.
For fucking 50 years, it's like, they said, and then John shows up and says, "Build me a house with this." Oh no, but it's against code. Well, says who?
So let's make an example.
Yeah.
So Grok, if I was to buy a house somewhere in the United States, and I decided not to, or maybe I was to build a house and I was choose to not get municipal water. Would I get would it be habitable? Would I have because you have to fucking get basically a license to live in the fucking house that you build.
Yes, you'd still get your certificate of occupancy and it'd be fully habitable, but you'd probably have to fight for it. The building department would demand an engineer's stamp showing the structure meets code. Once you give them that, they have to approve it because earth and construction is in the actual building code. They can't legally say no if it's stamped. The real pain is the upfront fight and the extra engineering cost, not that it's illegal. Same thing happens with tiny homes, shipping container homes, straw bale, everything that's weird to the local inspector.
Yeah, there it is. So it's the frictions at the local. They don't train the local, and then the local doesn't know how to approve it. So there's that pressure point.
That's exactly
somehow that turned into legality.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I got to pause here. I got to call some attention out. Mike Sullivan, brother. Mike Sullivan just dropped $30 on the table. Are you kidding me, man?
Buddy. You know,
Dude.
Sullivan just bought some peptides. Whenever he gets those things, I'm going to give him some directions.
Fuck, man. You're just going to give him directions just because? But Sullivan,
well, no, I told him, I said, if he emailed in and said, hey, it's Mike from the morning show. I said, yeah, dude,
nice.
I'll fucking direct you. I'll give you not medical advice. This is how I do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course.
I got some peptide news. I'm gonna pull onto the table here in about 15, 16 minutes. So, but hey, grateful that my peps to help with the eye issue and jumpstart my joint of health to arrive today per tracking John Company. Always grateful for mornings and a lot of improving mind, body, spirit, finances, relationships. Thank you, Mike Sullivan. Thank you, dude. You are one of the OGs here. You spend every morning.
Hey, Mike, do me a favor, brother. When it shows up, I want you to, because we put a lot of work into basically the curb appeal. When it shows up, it's going to be in a box. It's going to have a presentation. Give me your honest feedback. I mean, these fucking things come in the coolest fucking box. Like, people are like, do I get to keep this?
Coming up, Ramon Velez, the guys in the broadcast industry. Johnny, I'm wondering, he's probably sitting back to go, what the hell am I watching right now? What am I coming into? You have no idea what you're coming in, Ramon. I'm going to bring you in a couple minutes. But before we do that, hey, Johnny, you're like my Sphere expert because I haven't been there yet. I've never been to the Sphere. I want to go to the Sphere. Well, I've been waiting for this, and I finally saw it. Johnny, a dude climbed to the top of the Sphere. Check this out, because you've been there.
How did he get up the fucking? Did he get dropped off on the top? Because it's
there he is. No, he scaled the side of it. He's standing on the top. So there he is. I know. I haven't seen it.
When you're at the bottom, dude, it rounds back in. You'd have to be climbing like completely vertical up that. He must have something to stick to it.
Coming up next week on Netflix, Alex Honnold could quietly climb the Sphere and he didn't tell anybody. I'm joking, of course, not trying to provide any misinformation, but yeah, I was fascinated by that, actually. And hey, Johnny, check out this female bodybuilder before we bring on Ramon Velez. Jimmy, let's bring this female bodybuilder up here. Check this one out, man. This lady looks savage, brother. Talk this one through with me. This is committed. Look at this. Dude, splits with the fucking tire on her head.
Dude. Well, not only that, she's fucking like ripped.
I know. Like, look at her physique.
In a goddamn posing suit.
That's fucking epic.
Does she get up out of that?
Yes.
She goes to the splits and then gets back up. No, she can't get up from there.
Yeah. So Jimmy, can you run that back?
Is she just going down? I mean, going down is impressive, but if she got back up, that's a whole different level of.
Yeah. We don't have the going back up part. It's cut in the segment there, but
yeah, I mean, dude, that would be almost unbelievable if she got back up from there, because just the balancing of that thing going down, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, how much that?
That's probably, my guess is that's probably at least a 300-pound tire.
Wow. Yeah. Good morning.
Look, she's got a hold here. Look at the cool part is. It's just a fucking tire. There's no handle. She's holding the palms of her fucking hands on the inner rim of that fucker.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Way impressive. That's an expo of some kind. You can see behind her.
It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. And then just her to get it up there and just have to do it. And imagine how many reps she did to be successful at that, and how many times she fell, and how many times she dropped it, and there she is doing it successfully. All right.
Probably started off with a barbell.
Yes, I guarantee it.
Worked her way into odd objects.
That's it. Johnny, we got a dude who's in the broadcasting industry. The guy's been behind the camera at ABC, NBC, Google, MLB for 20 years. but he's never been on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. And Sophia Grant, let's set it up. The conversation starts right now with Ramon Velez this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and
Think about the last breaking news moment you watched. Election night, a game-winning home run, something big. You remember the anchor, you remember the score. You don't remember the person who made sure the signal stayed up. That person exists. They're in a dark room somewhere, alone, watching everything. Most people never think about them. Ramon Velez has been that person for over 20 years. NBC, Google, MLB. His name has never been in a headline. Orlando, 2002. Early 20s, overnight shifts and master control at a local news station. The only person in the building at 2 a.m. From that booth, he climbed. MLB, Google Studios, The Today Show at NBC, then the director's chair at ABC News. Election nights, breaking news, millions watching live. If the signal dropped, they didn't call the anchor. They called him. He's mentored Emmy winners. Still, 20 years in, you've never heard his name. Here's the twist. On weekends, he steps into a cage. Certified MMA official, a man who manages chaos, then chooses more of it. In 2011, he left MLB as an engineer. In 2025, he came back as director of broadcast technology. Full circle. If you've ever been the one holding everything together while nobody was watching, this story is for you. Ramon, welcome to Mornings in the Lab. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hey, Johnny, well, the world watches the anchors, and they watch the guys like you and me every single morning. We got a guy behind the scenes who's managing the high-pressure tech where a single second of failure means a global blackout. From today's show to his current role running Major League Baseball's broadcast technology. That's some pretty fucking cool shit, by the way. This guy spent 20 years as the most important person in the room whose name you never met. We're meeting him right now. His name's Ramon Velez. Welcome him into Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John. Ramon, what's shaking, brother?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good, man. John, Keith,
you look fucking pretty young for a guy that's the most important in the room.
I don't age, man. It's, keeping healthy is what it is.
How old are you, brother?
I'm going to be 47 in 3 days.
Oh, fuck, dude. What is up with these people that come on here that look like they're fucking 15 years younger than they should be?
I know. You're looking great, Ramon. 100%.
No shit.
Yeah.
You got a fucking gray hair on your ass. Jesus Christ.
I do some nice little, color every now and then. Keep it clean.
Oh, okay. So you color it up. I got you.
Natural color, John. Natural color.
But dude,
you're looking fucking good, brother.
Let's start on the non-negotiables. What do you do to take care of yourself? And I'm serious. What do you? Because you're obviously doing something right. You're getting your sleep. You're getting your water. You're doing your skincare. And I'm being very serious. What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, for myself, what I do is I try to work out at least every other day. I go either jogging, running. I do jujitsu. I do boxing.
Yeah.
Just trying to stay active is really what's important because you got to have that disconnect from work to your regular personal life. I try not to bring work issues into my personal life, so that way that kind of reduces the stress. And like I said, just trying to eat good, but I eat everything, and mostly just trying to work out is really what it is. Working out and having fun with the family.
What I'm hearing, I think the biggest piece of this that I'm hearing that probably is missed by most is reduce the stress.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stress ages us so fucking fast.
Let me tell you something, John. When you get stressed, your whole body gets messed up. Your stomach,
it's
your
cortisol,
heart,
baby.
Yeah, you get into a stressful environment, and before that, you ain't eating, you ain't sleeping. All you're thinking about that stressful event, and before you know it, is that downward spiral. And you got to limit that, or at least be able to compartmentalize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it. You just said checking it out. You separate the two. Check out.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like I've been in a lot of major events, and stress happens, but as soon as I leave that control room or that door, you got to be able to disconnect and be like, all right, I put my best foot forward. I built the team that can handle this. Yeah, that's really what it's about, building teams, so that way you have faith, confidence, and trust in that team that you built.
Brother, I love that. That's fun, because that's something that I've been just in the last 5 years, 7 years of my business ventures. I've been really leaning on that as well. And I repeat that to myself all the time. The team will handle it. The team will handle it. I don't need to because I get in the middle of it and I slow these people down in many cases.
Well, and that's the thing about it. Like the whole point is to train and build that team.
Yeah.
Yes. So you got to be very hands-on when you're first, are bringing in new individuals. And then you got to have trust that, one, you're training them properly. Two, you hired them for a reason. And I think that's a lot of things people forget about. Like, I'm hiring you for a reason. I think you have that skill set.
Yes.
And in hiring you, my responsibility now is to get you the material necessary to succeed. It's not just hiring you and then leaving you alone. No, I'm going to hire you. I'm going to show you what needs to be done. And then I got to walk away.
That's it. Get you the resources and have some fucking trust.
Exactly. That's the two most important things.
And Ramon, it comes down to, and again, you said something that I think so many of us leaders forget. That person who's failing is not failing because of them. It's because of you. You hired the wrong person. Hire an adult, not a child. If you hire an adult and empower the adult to live and fly, then you're going to be fine. You hire a child, you're going to get child results.
That is very true. And one thing I would say on top of that is, as you hire someone, there is that courtship period. You know, I had to learn you. You have to learn me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then on top of that, I need to provide you with the tools and resources, right? I understand that there are times where you can say you hired the wrong person, but is it that you hired the wrong person or you had the wrong expectations for that?
Oh, good question. Yes. Yeah. That's
you know what I do, brothers? It's I'm sure you have some variation of this. Because when I bring someone on new, I've got a system in place of what I need them to do. And I say, look, your job security depends on you following the system. If something doesn't work and you follow the system, it's the system's fault. You didn't follow the system, it's your fault.
Correct.
So as long as you follow the system, you just come to me with a broken system, we fix the system. Everything moves forward. But you come to me because you didn't follow the system, you're only going to get a couple of those and you're going to get replaced.
No, I agree with that 100%. And it's one of those things, as I'm bringing somebody in, I need to know the system 100%. Frontwards, backwards, you know, from rooter to the tutor, you know what I'm saying? So that way, when I'm training somebody, when they have questions, I can give that answers. And to me, that's really the best investment is when just the training period. It's really what's the best investment, because that's where you're really going to get the all the information on where this person has the aptitude or not. Is that training? Yeah.
I'm just actually hitting the point it's a little almost freaks me out a little bit, where one of my team leaders actually, when he starts talking about the system, he's developed it so much and through our meetings that he knows it better than I do now. And I'm like, fuck, I almost have to be careful what I say, because Jesus Christ, if I say the wrong things, I'm just getting in his way. When in actuality, it was a little scary at first. I thought, dude, no, this is what you fucking want, for Christ's sake. All you really want is a report of success. You don't want to be these fucking team leader meetings are you know, you got here. This is what you've been looking for. Fucking let this go. You know,
Johnny, I had that revolution when I was leading at ICUC. I remember going to one offsite event and I was sitting in the room with my leaders and I had that kind of epiphany where I was the problem.
Yeah, these fuckers know more than I do. I need to get out of here.
So, Johnny, I did. I went to the back of the room to my team. I said, I think it's best I leave. You guys know what you're doing. I left. I went back to my room and I was like, and it was a fucking coming to Jesus moment for me as a leader, because I'm like, oh, John, to your point, I was like, this is what I aspired for. But okay, so this is how it feels. I'm now into a different role in my job here. And it was interesting, Ramon.
But how did you feel when that happened? And that's really what's the telling part, because when you get to that point, you've elevated as a leader. Now you can start taking on bigger things.
Well, I was going to say, because, bro, that's so it. Every time that happens to me, I just go start another company.
Yes.
But that's so a true story. I went back to my hotel room and I sat there and I was like, oh, what the fuck? I brought everybody here and I'm actually not needed. Like I had kind of a moment, Ramon, where, okay, I guess I'm now at that next level. So my brain, John, started thinking about, so what does chairman mean? Like, what does like not president, not CEO mean? Because there's clearly enough people to do that. And it was like, so what the fuck am I going to do? That was kind of the question I had in my head. And I
guess that's why shortly after that, I'm assuming, is when you went into work and they said, hey, Keith, we don't need you. Get out of here.
It wasn't too long after that, actually. It wasn't too long after that, to be frank, Johnny. And I'm like, okay, so that's that. But thank you, Cheryl. That is the sign of an exceptional leader. Right? Listen, it happened. Reed Hastings. Let's go to the current events. Reed Hastings announced yesterday he's stepping into Netflix. He's like, I'm a chairman. I've done my job. And Ramon, as a leader, that's pretty awesome, right? When you're like, I've done my job. I'm not, and because I still feel the pride today, Anderson. I look back, I see you still going. Like Roman, I started a company, sold it, 400 people. It's still a running entity. There's something really, there's a lot of pride when you can set it up as a leader and step back.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's one of the biggest things. Like for me, a lot of my accolades are not what I obtained. It's from individuals that I trained.
Yes.
Like I had individuals who won Emmys, and I'm probably more excited for them than they are. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's that pride, and it's kind of like in sports where you have like a coach's tree. You know what I'm saying? And you see your coach win that Super Bowl or that championship, and you're excited for him because you was there with them at the beginning.
Yes.
And you got to see that growth and that maturity blossom. And for me, and it's similar to what you're saying with yourself, is like seeing that those items grow and blossom, and you're being able to step away from that, to me is the biggest, success.
Yeah.
You can get money and all that. That's great. We can always look, we're skillful individuals. We'll find work, we'll be able to make money, but it's that developing of other individuals that's really the telltale sign of a leader.
Yeah. So let's stay here with leadership and you, Ramon. Let's stay on you. So Johnny, get this, man. Ramon spent 4.5 years as director of studio operations at ABC News. Dude, presidential elections, breaking news in the middle of the night, the kind of events where the country is like paying all attention to you and the show cannot go down. And I gotta wonder, man, like what do those moments do to you in your own mirror as an operator, your gray hairs? What do they do to your nervous system over the years? Like working at a level where people expected live on a day we're talking about misinformation. I want the facts, I want it from you, and I want the truth now. Can't make a mistake.
I mean, here's the thing. When we're in these live events, there's a lot of fact checking in the control room. We're doing a lot of things. We're spinning. I'm focusing on the production that's being held. I'm working with editorial because we got to make sure everything is factual. Because the reality is similar to what you're saying. We got millions of people watching. So we got to make sure that we're putting stuff that's factual. So we're dealing with legal, we're dealing with editorial, and I'm on top of that watching the production. So I'm juggling these multiple things. I'm dealing with multiple different stakeholders as we're going through this stuff. But the reality is, and I had my manager at the time, who was one of my mentors, kind of told me this one thing, and it kind of stuck to me. He's like, look, shit's gonna happen, but by the time you make a mistake, that signal's already made it to the moon and back. So you can't worry about the mistake so much as how you can fix it after it happens, right? So it's not being so granular that you're on pins and needles. You got to be fluid, and it's similar to like a maestro with an orchestra. You got to keep that stuff fluid. Somebody might miss a note, but you can't stress that one note that got missed. That's gonna mess up the whole orchestra. You know what I'm saying? So it's being able to pivot, being able to kind of just wash over the little things, right? And being able to understand when something really matters, and that's really what's the important part.
So then you can appreciate sitting back in the green room when Keith and John were welcoming you in here on our little morning show here. Like we were bringing grok in, confirming information, misinformation, and you can probably appreciate that we were having that conversation and looking for the facts because we understand our responsibility doing a live program Monday to Friday. That when we're talking every single day, I want to make sure that we're trying to provide as much truth as we can, and especially on a day when we got our bullshit professor joining us for the second hour, how to navigate a world of misinformation, right?
Well, and that's
he wants you guys real quick. This is a guy who wants to provide as much truthful information as possible, but he makes blanket statements and will fight them to the fucking ground about if you're a golfer or you're a bullshitter. would that make the mainstream news, brother? Is that breaking truthful news?
I mean, in regards to mainstream is kind of like defined by the viewer. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's kind of one of the things, because what I find is, you guys were talking earlier about conspiracy theories and all this and stuff like that. But what I find, there's always a sliver of truth in every conspiracy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what we found. That's exactly what we found.
And what happens is that people use that sliver of truth in order to justify everything else. And then it seems like how far can you push the envelope?
That's so well
like
put.
Somebody's like, oh, hold on, that shit is obviously false, right? So it's like, it's like, all right, here's a sliver of truth, but let me tell you this. And then if you buy that, that's like, oh, well, hold on, let me tell you this. And it's just that constant just pushing of the envelope until the viewer, somebody's like, hey, that doesn't make sense now, right? And then you slightly backtrack, but then you double down. And as long as you say it confidently, people are going to buy it.
So let me ask this for a moment. So we're living in a world where, so we're building a live morning show platform here. I believe in morning. I believe in live. I believe as the world moves more and more into.
I just got to point out one thing.
Yeah.
But we were trying to create, how all these things become fact amongst people. My man just explained it perfectly.
Oh, totally.
Push it right to the point where they question it, step back, let them breathe, double down, and they fold.
There you go.
That was, one sentence just explained all of these things we were talking about.
He just dropped the president of the United States' entire communications strategy.
Exactly.
Right? It's the breaking point. Step back, let them breathe, double down. Done.
That's it.
Anybody wanting to run for leadership, Ramon Velez will be your communications strategist. He's just told you how to do it.
I gave you the blueprint.
That's it right there. Game over, man. Shit.
Ramon, but on a serious level here, do you feel like as we move over, let's talk about the next decade or so, I believe, these are my beliefs, that that the power of a live conversation is only becoming more valuable than ever in a world of more and more synthetic content. I also believe that the barrier, clearly you're the same age as John and myself. You and I grew up in a world where, we can't make a mistake on live because all the fucking world's going to fall apart. Where now everything is live stream, like fucking clavicular. This dude smashing his face, fucking overdose on a live stream this week. I feel like the bar has been lowered for what we as humanity accepts for live, and that people are still trying to reconcile with that. Keith and John are live all the time, burping, farting, making mistakes, but that's life, and people are accepting of life. Am I correct, Ramon?
Yeah, I think now especially live has become oversaturated, and the criteria of what has drastically lowered. And it's mostly due for a lot of content creators. It's mostly due for the, YouTube. Everybody can get whatever they want online. And it doesn't really matter if I can look up whatever random thing in the world and I could find something about it, and I could find anything, And the problem with that is the fact checking has drastically dropped because people are not really concerned about facts. Because what happens is people are convoluting emotion with facts. I feel this way, so therefore it must be true. I think this is bad, so therefore it has to be bad, right? And it's not a societal now thing. It's now how I feel. And how I feel overrides what society feels. And I think that's what has happened with social media and just this onslaught of just being able to find whatever you want to justify my opinion. And that's the thing. I could have a very extreme opinion, and I could go online and see, this person said is right, so therefore it's right.
Yes, and you find 1,000 people, all of a sudden.
Exactly.
Could you put 1,000 people in a room? You're like, see, there's 1,000 people that agree with me. All of a sudden, it's true to you.
Exactly, and that's the whole thing. You can find your tribe very easily, and in finding your tribe, now all of a sudden you're justified to believe what. Could you imagine? Let me point this out. Could you imagine if we had social media in the 60s? How would that have drastically changed the civil rights movement? How would that drastically change, George Wall and all of those things? If we had, the Emmett Till stuff that occurred, if we had social media, if he was online talking about this stuff, how would that have changed the way that society views things? And would it be for the positive or the negative? That I don't really know at this point.
That's a good point, man. That's a really good point.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. Hanging out with Ramon Velez this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. So Ramon, let's get into some fun stuff. You're an Emmy-nominated broadcast executive. You step in as the official for a fight.
Yes.
What's something that happened that you've never told anyone? I made some interesting choices in my life for that one. Tell us about that one.
It was so shocking. John just dropped his mic. No, like I said, I've always been in combat sports. I've been in combat sports till about 13 is when I first started doing taekwondo and kickboxing. I've always enjoyed combat sports. I've been doing jiu-jitsu now for about 5 years, on and off. And it was one of those things where it kind of occurred on a whim, to be honest.
Okay.
I was just watching some fights and I just thought to myself, you know what? I kind of wouldn't mind being in the ring. Now, I know I'm a little older, so I probably can't be a fighter. But I was like, the next best thing is being an official. So, I started contacting certain associates of mine, certain friends of mine. I went to a couple of fights. I started talking to the promoter. And this guy, which is great guy, Tom Kilkenny, who does a lot of fights over in Queens.
Yeah.
He and I started talking. He's like, come on down. So I did, the whole training process and all this other stuff. And I was able to do a couple of Muay Thai fights, working as an official and working as not a judge, working as a backstage official, checking the hand wraps, making sure that nobody's cheating. It was a great experience. I enjoyed it. I still try to do it from time to time, but it's definitely not for the money. It's more so just for the experience and being there and actually being around fighters and being around.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty exhilarating just to be in that environment.
Oh, it is awesome, John. Let me tell you something. I mean, watching a fight on TV is one thing, but being there live and being close.
Oh,
I mean, like to hear the power and just to see these people moving as elegantly as they can. I mean, it's phenomenal. And like for myself, it was very inspiring. I mean, I started training a little harder, going into it. Like I said, I know I'm not going to be a professional fighter. I know I'm not really going to be in the ring, but just being around that environment.
You got to see with your own eyes, raise the bar with your own eyes,
Exactly. And then the cool thing about it as well is being with them, like when they're in the the green room preparing and training and listening to how their trainers are talking to them. I was able to take some of that information and kind of apply it to my professional life as well. Yeah. Just about preparation. I had an opportunity where I did a training session with Royce Gracie, who was the UFC 1 champion. I don't know if you
he's the one that busted the top off of the jiu-jitsu to begin with. I was this 170-pound guy just kicking the asses of these monsters.
Yes. So I was able to do a training session with him because I trained with Igor Gracie, which they're related. So I did a training session with Royce, but listening to how he approaches training and how he approaches just life was very inspiring. He was saying this thing was, you only have one opportunity for anything in a fight, in life, whatever it may be. But your goal is to shape that opportunity to your strength. He's like, if I'm fighting somebody, I know I'm not a boxer. So why am I going to box a boxer? My goal is to get that boxer into my world.
Oh, right?
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. And he said, you do that for fights, you do that for life, you do that for whatever it is. You get one opportunity. So why am I going to approach that opportunity at my disadvantage?
Yeah.
And just listening to him approach that is like, that's true. I have one opportunity. I'm good at this. So let me steer the conversations to that, or let me steer the opportunity to my strengths. So therefore I can make the most out of it.
Yeah. Hanging out with Ramon Velez coming up in about 5-6 minutes. We got Dr. John Petricelli joining us this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Ramon, Johnny, check this out, man. I got a strong dude to show you guys. Johnny, I know you and I love this shit. Ramon, check this out. South African powerlifter, John, Colton Engelblick.
I know this dude.
520 kilograms sumo deadlift.
Yeah.
1,146 pounds, man. That is savage, brother.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Johnny, elephant bar? Is that an elephant bar, Johnny?
No, I believe that's standard bar. He's not an enormous guy like Thor. No. He's about my height. I mean, I met him when I was doing Mark Bell's Powercast. I met him about 5 years ago.
Well, cool. Okay.
And he was just coming up. I mean, you could see that he was going to do great things. I mean, just cock strong.
That is tremendous. Jeez.
Yeah,
so John, and a lift like that, what is the main muscle regions that's actually performing the lift? Is it all legs? Is it grip?
Well, it's the thing like this: a sumo deadlift and a deadlift in general. So I'll give you a little bit of philosophy of the deadlift. The closer your hips are to the bar, the stronger you're going to be. So watch he pushes it. See how he just hips back, pushes him through and up. So hips is the main driver. Without the hips, he's hips probably 40% of that.
Okay.
There's leg and there's back, the whole posterior chain, but he's driving his hips towards the bar. See him pushing his hips towards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the first.
That's it right there. If he had started the lift with his hips out behind, nothing would have happened.
But those two, like he had two movements there. Jimmy Renner, he had those two movements. Jimmy Renner again from the beginning. That's what you're talking about, right, John? Those two movements there. Watch.
Yeah, he's that's called taking the slack out. See, watch the bar bends and then he takes the slack out. Hips go in. See, the last one is his hips go in. You can see the bar start to bend before he even pulls. And then as soon as he feels all the tension out of his body, pow, he goes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool shit.
That's
Hey,
very cool.
Ramon, I know we had you here for 30. I'm thoroughly enjoying our conversation with you. We got our resident bullshit professor joining us here in about 2 minutes. If you'd like to stick around with us for coffee and have the conversation, I'd love to have you stick around if you can.
Hey, real quick. It's confusing to people when you say stick around for coffee. That's fucking weirdo Canadian fucking lingo.
Are we gonna do a nice little let's stick for caramels? You get the reference, caramel?
Jimmy, let's do the lifestyle tip.
Yeah, but would you like to stay into the next segment?
Lifestyle tip hour 2. We're coming back with Petro and Velez and Anderson and Billis this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends.
Thank God it's Friday. How many of you sorry motherfuckers say that every Friday? Jesus Christ. Aren't you tired of this shit? God damn it. Think about this. You've been saying this shit Friday after Friday. Why? Because you don't have to do the dumb shit you've been doing all fucking week. You can't wait till tomorrow. Why? Because you don't have to do what you do Monday through Friday. When are you going to take this thank God it's Friday and fucking spin it around and realize that now you're going to have Saturday and Sunday to go waste the fucking time that you could be using to change the pattern in your life? Fuck, I thought it was Friday yesterday. And then I realized Petro wasn't on the show. I'm like, fuck, I guess Friday's tomorrow. Every day should be a fucking joy. Every day should be something you look forward to. You've allowed life to pick you. You did not pick your life. If you chose your life, you'd be doing something that you like to do every day. But you sat on your hands. Life picked you. Life chose what you have to do. And now you're living in this fucking world of thank God it's Friday. So if you're one of these poor bastards, and you've already said it today, think it through. How many more times are you going to say this dumb shit before you finally fucking make a change? Because I understand change is scary, but it comes down to this. One day, the pain of your reality is going to be greater than the pain of change, and you'll say, fuck it. I'm not doing this shit anymore. So the tip is this. Make the goddamn choice. You already fucked up and didn't make the choice to begin with. Life made it for you. Time for you to choose what you do with your life. Rock and roll.
Hey, welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. You join us for hour 2. This is the big show where we help men and all humans start their day with more honesty, more momentum, and enough perspective to stop making dumb decisions like John Anderson was talking about with some fake confidence. Hey, coming up, second hour, Dr. John Petrotelli, we're talking about a world of misinformation, kindness, sincerity, and how bullshit spreads. And hey, Top Gun 3 is confirmed. True story. Yeah. And Ramon Velez is sticking around to hang out with myself, John, and Petro. We're going to start that conversation right now, live on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Ramon.
Most men don't get fooled by lies. They get fooled by confident nonsense.
That's bullshitting. No truth, just vibes. And it works because it sounds certain.
Then we repeat it, post it, and build a life plan on it. That's how men end up strong and wrong.
The fix is sincerity. Ask one question. Do I care if this is true, or do I just like how it feels?
Keith and John, how many facts in a man's head are just borrowed confidence he never checked?
Yes.
Oh, hey guys.
There he is. Dr. John Petrotelli.
What's up?
Meet Mr. Ramon Velez, gentlemen.
Ramon.
John, how you
Good.
doing, John?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah.
Nice set of wheels this morning, Petro.
Yeah, I'm hoping that thing will just drive me automatically so I can get some reading done as I'm working my way to work.
Hey, Ramon, before we get started, I'm curious to know you're meeting our morning show cast as you're kind of watching from afar. I'm curious to get your opinion on our morning show cast.
Keith, I'm loving the experience. I'm loving this whole opportunity, man. You guys have a top-notch production. It's fun, man. I'm having a good time. Let me tell you that. I'm having a great time right now.
So, Petro, I got to nerd out with you for a quick sec because I think Petro might. Johnny won't because Johnny's not as nerdy as I am. But there's something over your shoulder which I'm quite intrigued about. You like to look up in the sky, don't you? You like your telescope back there, brother.
Yeah. I mean, it's my wife loves doing stargazing. So we go on occasion. We've gone to like Zion National Park. We've gone to Bryce National Park. We don't do the stargazing, so we bring that with us so that we go check that out. That's one of the ways that we kind of disconnect from the chaos. Is just going out to national parks, go hiking, and kind of just being with nature, which I tell you is a great way to just kind of tranquil and reset yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I do.
There's that disconnect you're talking about.
Exactly.
There we go.
That's it.
I like to get into fights and go into combat. She likes to go hiking. We kind of split the difference.
Well, and Petro's wife takes him to the symphony, which he enjoys as well. There, so
there you go.
So Petro, let's get into it. I want to talk about the science of sincerity and how to navigate a world of misinformation. And the great news is, I know you've been paying attention. We've had Ramon on. He's in the broadcasting industry, so the timing is great. And I want to start here. When somebody is nice and kind, and we drop a sliver of truth, that truth, or conspiracy truth, Petro, can grow into a misinformational truth or lie forever. Talk about how the science of sincerity can just bullshit the hell out of all of us, Petro.
Yeah, well, it's like Ramon had said earlier. I thought really nicely summed it up. When you confront people and you ask questions and say, well, tell me more about that, or you actually investigate and you're actually listening to what they're actually saying and you identify the claim. Often do take a few steps back and say, well, what I really mean is this, but then what will often happen is they'll find something that you say that is consistent with that claim, and they'll say, oh yeah, see there, that's what I was trying to say the whole time. So there's usually they'll look for something, and that's always a sort of a textbook sign of confirmation bias. They're already looking for something that fits the narrative or the claim or whatever it is that they're trying to say. So if you got the hammer, everything looks like a nail, and so that's the telltale sign. As soon as they jump onto something or something later, it might even be an hour later in the conversation that comes up and says, see, that's what I was saying earlier, that it fits what I was trying to tell you. They'll just latch onto anything for cognitive reasons, emotional reasons, and social identity and connection reasons as well.
Yeah. Wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think John hit it on the head. It's like having those conversations with individuals, and you could kind of tell the individuals are speaking to you, but also processing everything that you're saying, because they're looking for that little linchpin of like, you see, you agree with me, even though you might not, or they're like, you know what you just said is verification of A, B, C, and D, right? But they'll say it in a way where it takes me more time now to process what I was previously saying or how they navigate it. So it's one of these indirect confirmations. Oh, but you said this, so that has to be this, that, and the other, and it doesn't really give you time to do a rebuttal properly. Mm-hmm. And that's really how, as you were saying, these conspiracy theories, or just in general, how people who are trying to manipulate the conversation a little bit will try to do it. They want to minimize your rebuttal, but have you co-sign on what they're saying at the same time.
Yeah, Nino Fincher jumps in and says, intent preceding content, as my friend used to call it. That's interesting, right? Because Petro just said it. Oh, yeah, it was my intention to say that, but I couldn't really figure it out by the time, but you said it for me, is what you're saying, right?
Essentially.
Yeah. So then, Petro, Anderson and I were talking at the beginning of the show, and you heard us talking. How do we look for real truth in today's day and age? Is that the way to go about it? Just going to these bots and just looking for what we believe is truth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you look anywhere, like Ramon was saying earlier, you look anywhere for any support for any claim or any side that you want, you'll find it. You'll find a group of people. You'll find another echo chamber that fits your fits your claims. But what I think the best tool, there's two tools. One takes a lot of time. One doesn't take as much time. The one that takes a lot of time is the empirical method, is to conduct an experiment. If you really want to know what matters, what doesn't, what works, what doesn't, what's true, what's not, what's correct, what isn't, is you've got to experiment. You have to have the time to have at least two conditions, randomly assign people, groups, units, teams, stores, or whatever to two groups that you randomly assign, and then you've got to measure something, whatever it is that you are trying to predict, understand, control, and that takes quite a bit of time. The other thing you can do, I think, though, that what I look for before I decide to invest in an experiment is to take a look at what other experts that might be competent to speak about the issue have to say, because usually these experts are at each other's throats, and so they're not a big happy team that are colluding and agreeing with each other. They usually have independent lines of inquiry, and they're coming to the same conclusion. And if you can find evidence of that, where you've got multiple lines of inquiry sort of coming to the same general conclusion, that's a pretty good sign for whether or not to believe in something, to believe that something is true.
Well, and Anderson, that's what you did. You were told for many years, here's how much protein you should eat, or here's how much creatine you should take. And you're like, I think all that is bullshit. I'm going to go test it myself. That's exactly what you did. It wasn't Anderson. You became the human experiment.
Well, I think 100%. I think I was actually lucky enough to be, there wasn't much influence in that time.
Oh,
so
yes.
It wasn't like you could pick up your fucking phone and look something up. There wasn't even magazines and shit that told you about this stuff. So you were just truly fucking shooting in the dark. And it wasn't just because I stumbled across. It was just by, the fact that my mom didn't have all the food I was looking for, that I ate this other food, tons of tuna one day. And I was like, holy shit, I feel different. And I was like, that's fucking weird. So that's how, but I mean, I had the ability to go try to gather information, now I would have been subject to all the idiots out there that love to fucking post shit that have no fucking clue. So I was kind of lucky, the fact that I just stumbled across my discoveries through true testing with very little influence.
Well, and what's interesting, boys, and we're all a similar age here. And Petro, so Anderson's going to give me grief on this one. My blanket stay one, Anderson. But Petro, I would almost want to say that our mothers might have been the greatest source of our bullshitters of our life, because our moms are like, go outside, you're going to catch cold, or do this. And it's these little mom's tales or wives' tales that we would learn as children that Keith and John and Petro and Ramon grow up with over time. Like, we can almost think that what I'm saying? Like, Petro, I'm having some fun with this, but moms might be the biggest source of bullshit as ever.
I mean, they're just passing down information.
Yes, that's what I mean.
They're basically just pass-throughs.
Yeah.
They give you your generational truth that you start working off of.
Yeah.
Like, well, my mom told me this, and my grandmother told her that, so therefore it must be true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the quintessential bullshit from mom, though, has got to be, if you keep jerking off, you're going to go down. I mean, where is there any evidence? Does anyone have any evidence that that's true? I mean, it's just...
I was never told that.
Well, my mom said that and then said eat your carrots. I was like, Mom, you're confusing me. What am I not supposed to do? Am I not supposed to practice?
You're supposed to do both, Keith. That's why. She knew you was going at it. She's like, you need these carrots, man. Because
multitasking. Yeah,
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Hanging out with Petro, Ramon, and John this morning on Mornings at Live with Keith, John, and friends. Rico says to you, Petro could just look into one of his 10 million books that he reads half to validate the truth. Yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Petro, Ramon, it's only going to get harder before it gets easier. What do you guys, when you guys look at the next, Ramon, looking at you, live broadcast, when you look at the next 5-10 years of broadcasting and truth telling and so forth, what makes you nervous?
To be honest with you, what's really kind of concerning to me is just the divide and tribalism that is occurring in society right now. And I know it's always been there, but now it just seems to be more dramatic and more drastic.
All-time high, man.
Where it's people get offended even if you just don't disagree with them.
Yeah,
and the fact that you disagree automatically makes you the villain.
Or didn't say nothing because
exactly.
You didn't say nothing. You must not agree with me. You didn't say nothing.
Exactly. Well, what's your opinion on this? And I don't really have an opinion. Oh, well, then you obviously are not aware of the subject. And it's no, being aware does not constitute automatically having an opinion. Sometimes people just want to digest all of the material. And just to make a quick opinion on something just for that matter of fact is to me where the problem is. And all of us, especially educated, like to really do research. And that's really the problem. People don't want to do research. They just want to be told what to think. Yes. And if you have somebody that's willing to be like, oh, I'll tell you what to think, and people are going to co-sign that automatically, that's where the problem is. People are now getting, to me, a little bit lazy on just accepting facts as facts.
Yeah. Oh my God, so funny. David Kirkland, welcome to the show this morning. David, thanks for hanging out with us. So Ramon, I'm up here in Canada. It's the same way up here, but when I observe North America these days, especially with my friends, my family in the States, it's like you guys are two countries now.
Yeah.
It's like there's actually two countries living in one space.
Yeah. Yeah. And whether it's the politics, whether it's the price increase, there's a disconnect, and nobody really wants to address what the disconnect is or what caused the disconnect. I have my own theories on it, but it's one of those things where as a society, no one's really talking. They're just yelling at each other.
Well, so
I got my theory on that, brother, is I refuse to participate.
Yes. Well, I have my theory, Petro, Ramon, Johnny.
This is going to be good. Let's what is this shit? As you can see, Petro, you watch his mannerisms when he's getting ready to say something fucking goofy, he kind of wiggles a little bit. This is my theory.
What's funny, Johnny, Reedner launched his show on Wednesday, and he's like, so how do you throw stuff to John? How does he know when you guys are going back and forth? Because you guys have never met, you never spent time together. I'm like, Paul, trust me, when you spend enough time with somebody, you kind of see the cues when something's coming up. Because I know that I might think that, guys, 5.5 inches is this much. That might be normal, but experts are shutting down these penis-sized myths. 5.5 inches. Sterling Preston, let's set it up. Did you know?
Did you know the average erect penis is about 5.5 inches? Half the internet's been lying with confidence.
That's the part guys need to hear. Average is average. Porn just turned perspective into bullshit. And size is not the damn scoreboard for pleasure. Plenty of women do not orgasm from penetration alone. That's why sex experts keep saying the same thing. Skill, attention, and clitoral stimulation matter way more than ego.
So if a guy built his whole manhood around inches, that foundation was shaky as hell from the start.
The truth is simple. Normal is normal, and good sex takes more than a dick and delusion. That's our today's Did You Know? Back to Keith and John.
So you know what's crazy about this?
Just looking down here to make sure my stack up.
I love that. Good sex is more than dick and delusion. I'm using that line from moving forward.
Well, what's crazy is everybody wants to boast about the length of their dick. Nobody talks about the girth.
No, ever. Ever. But that's again maybe like an old wives' mom's tale growing up, right? No, but society has never talked about girth, always length. Always length.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I find guys are the ones that talk more about dick size than actual women. I don't know if women are bragging about dick size as much. I mean, they may on occasion, but I think it's more of a guy conversation, which makes it odd that we're talking about that and not really bragging about the women. The woman should be bragging for you.
Well, I was going to say, bro, I so agree. If you're the guy that talks about how big his cock is, you have the fucking smallest cock on the planet.
Exactly. or you have the biggest dick, but you're not having any action.
Well, or that too. Yes.
It's like the guy that tells you how fucking great he once was.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's funny because it just all these topics lean into the world of misinformation and exaggerated truths and what's true and what's not true, right? And it's an interesting world. No, average is this. No, it's actually 5.5, right? No, but my mom, but I heard this, right? Or John, we talk often in room one, we talk often about the they. Hey, Petro, they said this, right? The they validation. Petro, talk about the they validation, and will that ever go away? No.
Who? Yeah. Who? When? Where? How? You know who they never know who the they are.
People say.
Yeah. People say.
Yeah.
People say.
How many?
Yeah.
How many people?
Yeah. People that I don't want to listen to.
Yeah. Hey, what do you guys think is the most what's the single most piece of bullshit that men in our age tell ourselves? Actually, serious. Like, what do you guys think it is? Petra, what do you think it is?
Oh, real quick. I got this fucking line that I hear people say all the time.
What is it, Anderson?
I hear this fucking line and I'm, God damn it. All you told me is that I need to not spend any more time with you because you're fucking delusional, right? They'll say, I'm 57 years old, and I look in the mirror and I'm pretty goddamn happy with how I look for my age. Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Did you see your tits? Did you see that shit hanging over your waistline? It's like, because in their minds, they think that it's like they're just fucking delusional.
I got two for you, Keith. One, and I agree with John. Two things that I think people give themselves delusion on. One, they accept the dad bod. It's like, it's a dad bod. I'm cool.
Yes.
As if, second is I got time. I got time. I got time for this.
Oh.
How do you know how much time you have? And that's the biggest thing people put off. Like the lie that you keep telling yourself, I got time to do that. I got time to do this. And it's like, it's a dad bod. Of course it's okay. That's my life now.
Are so good, brother. And the flip side, I got time is I'm busy.
Yes.
It's which one are you going to pick?
Yeah. Yeah,
I got time for that. I'm busy. Don't worry. I got time. I'll hit the gym, John. Don't worry. It's a dad bod. It's okay, John. I got time. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It was like when the muffin top and the fucking on girls became acceptable. How did fucking fat hanging over a fucking belt line become appealing? Muffin top. Are you fucking kidding me?
Petra, what do you think is the biggest piece of BS we tell ourselves?
Yeah, I think it's that people. I think for men, especially our age, it's got to be that nobody really notices the moobs.
Yes,
the man boobs, or how unattractive people call them unfuckables, right? Nobody thinks of themselves in that way. But so there's a lot of self-deception.
Yeah,
going on. I think especially anywhere north of 30 years of age, I think it starts happening.
I think too.
That leads into the second myth. Is like, I'm unfuckable, but I got a big dick. So
the joy of loving.
Well, I suspect many of us men, as we age, and John and I talk about it all the time, and Petra, we hear it. I think we accept how we're feeling, and I mean literally feeling is supposed to be normal. When we haven't taken the time to maybe get some better sleep, eat some good food, get some water, get some movement in, and recognize what good feeling actually feels like.
I was going to say, they don't even fucking realize how bad they feel because it's been so long since they felt good.
That's what I mean. And I don't mean it from a lecturing perspective, but I wonder sometimes if we would recognize how we could feel if we tried something different, but we wake up, well, okay, I got the dad bod. I'm on.
Brother, this is the shit you should be lecturing rather than fucking lecturing that all golfers are bullshit.
Or all moms are bullshitters too. But it's I think it's what happens to us, right? We just become accepting, and that's like, okay, well, I'm 50, I'm 60. I guess this is what I'm supposed to be like.
Yeah,
right. It's unfortunate, actually. It's unfortunate.
I think what Jack Wilson said yesterday, though, I thought in the talk was that hard now makes it easy later, and taking it easy now makes it hard later. I thought that was
you're gonna fucking pay. There's no fucking free lunch.
Yes. Yeah. But that's so hard for us all to digest, though, because nobody wants to do hard. So it's like, I'll just and then Ramona supports your comment of I have time. I'll do the hard stuff later.
Yeah.
No, actually,
it's fucking parenting. You put the work in when they're young, and they go and they have independent, successful lives, or you don't, and they fucking live at home till they're 35.
Yeah.
So did you stretch your work over 35 years or 18 years? You choose.
Yeah. Ramon, you got kids?
I got 3.
Oh, how old?
26, 21, and 20.
Wow. Oh, you started young in life, eh? Good for you.
I did. I started young, and you know, I had a big dick.
Awesome. That's the first guest to make that admission, John. That's the first one we have that said I got a big dick. Good.
Quote of the week right there.
Yeah, quote of the year, I think, actually. Yeah.
If 5.5, I can confirm. We measured.
Oh, you're talking girth, Ramon. You're talking girth.
Yeah, he's wrapping a tape measure around that thing. That's what he's talking about.
Oh,
it's as wide as it is long, man.
Oh, that's awesome. Ramon, Keith, John, and John this morning according to the lab. We're wrapping up with the gang here. Jimmy, we got something vintage to throw in the suit. We're all the same age in here. So, Ramon, is this your house growing up?
That is very close to it. And you know what's funny? Kids these days will have no clue what any of that is.
No, no, I know. You know, I saw a picture of they showed a picture of somebody's house and said everything the iPhone replaced. Like, you look at that picture, that's actually everything the iPhone replaces in our pocket.
It's in your fucking hand now.
Yes.
That's crazy, dude.
That is crazy. Petra, look like your host growing up. Steph, certainly.
Definitely. I think I liked it better that way, actually, though.
Me too, eh?
Yeah.
It forced you to actually socialize, which is ironic, isn't it?
Yeah. But when you put it that way, I have a suspicion, though, that I think that as we move into an era of different styles of computing, like spatial computing, I'm hopeful, Ramon, that it's going to put us back into these situations where we're going to put the physical devices down and be more in the moment again. Where our glasses are going to help us be more connected. We're going to bring more analog spatial technology to a space. I feel like we're moving maybe back a little bit to some kind of analog digital world that I'm hoping is going to bring us back together again. Ramon, your thoughts on that as a broadcaster?
I hope we are. You know, it's one of those things where, I mean, we say it a lot. Social media has removed the society from everything.
Yes.
You know, you just, I can talk to this person and not really talk to them. You know, I feel that the art of communication is slowly dwindling.
Yes.
So I hope we get there, because I miss it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's you know, the cell phone, or the handheld device, I should say, is more than just a phone. It's like, it's going to be like fucking heroin, meaning there's going to be the people that are fucking walking around doing heroin, and the people that actually use these things for the good. It's going to separate walks of life drastically.
Well, that's what AI is doing with this now too, right? It's accelerating all that. So,
because I mean, if you use is your phone using you, or are you using your phone?
That's exactly the question. Yeah. Hey, Ramon, what big events you got? What's the next big event in your world you're doing, brother? You're producing.
So for myself, I'm producing a short that's I'm going to start filming in about 2 or 3 months. So I'm working on that.
Yeah.
You know, aside from that, I'm building some pilots and some scripts that I've been shopping around. So right now, a lot of what I'm doing is just kind of developing my own brand, developing my own stories, and seeing if I can take that next step as a producer and kind of take my skill sets from broadcast into the next industry.
Awesome. And guys, and Johnny, Petra Anderson, and this is from a man who has a YouTube channel that says coming soon. That's awesome, Ramon. That's you're eating your
It's a double conundrum.
I'm having some fun with you. Petra, what do you got going on this weekend, brother?
Yeah, we got another tennis tournament this weekend. So, but I think I'll be actually home, and I'll be working on my textbook.
Nice. Well, Petra, you'll be curious about this one. Ramon, I got to nerd out for a quick minute with you before you go. Were you behind MLB when they launched all that technology? When back in the early days of the internet, and MLB was like, we're going to go first. We're going to launch the MLB network, and we're going to do all that cool shit, the 360 cams, those studios. I'm a nerd, so I was following all that stuff as it was happening. Were you part of that too?
So I started there roughly about 2008.
Okay.
So that's roughly around that time where they were doing that. At that time, I believe they were BAMTech.
BAMTech.
So I didn't have direct correlation because at that time I was just a lonely grunt. I was the cable runner, so I was running all the cables that actually did the all that fancy stuff. But
the cable runner with the big dick, Ramon Velez.
Exactly. I was running multiple cables.
That's it. He's the cable runner with the cable.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Ramon, thanks for hanging out with us this morning, man. John and John hang out for a quick second with me. Ramon, you're awesome, dude. I appreciate you spending some time with us. Where can folks find you and connect with you?
So you can find me on LinkedIn right now. I'm on there. That's pretty much my primary contact, and then I'm building out everything else. So hopefully I'll have some more stuff to give you guys soon. Beautiful.
Let's grab a coffee. Come back and hang with us again sometime, will you?
Yeah, anytime you want, man. Just let me know. I'm free.
Pleasure, brother. Pleasure talking with you today.
Pleasure.
Have a good one. Nice meeting you guys. I'm looking forward to the next round.
Awesome. We'll walk Ramon out of here and we'll quickly wrap up with Anderson and Petro this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Petro, fun week we had here this week, eh? Some great guests, great conversations.
Absolutely. Another fantastic week.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's, I still think that you guys were really simulating a real lab.
Yes. Yeah.
And, with the various guests, I don't know. You do seem to have quite a few guests that look at least 20 years younger than they actually are.
Yeah, what is up these last fucking couple? Like, God damn it, man. What's going on?
Yeah.
It's Jack Wilson yesterday. He tells us both he's 58. I'm like, what?
Well, yeah, they're all interesting too. I mean, they've actually thought about a lot of the things that you're talking about. Even Ramon today with us, very insightful.
Yeah.
That beginning conversation was just straight up fucking conversation. I mean, almost no questions. It just took off.
That's exactly it, Anderson. We didn't even get to anything we had prepared. It was so great. Same with yesterday. So I was telling Jack Wilson yesterday. So it's funny because if you go back to the conversation with Wilson yesterday, he dropped something in his first sentence, and I picked up on it. We took 2 points in that first sentence. It took the whole hour. And because him and I had a coffee after the show yesterday, and Anderson, he says to me, he says, I was a little bit nervous about. I'm watching you and John. He goes, I was nervous about joining you guys. And he goes, and I was curious. I was nervous that you guys were going to talk to me about eating pussy and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with that? But I didn't say it to him, but he's like, I was nervous. And then he says, but I kept watching. And I says, good, because we're trying to create a show where you judge the book by its cover. Then you spend a little bit of time with us. And he says, Keith, you guys made me feel so safe. I so enjoyed it. I loved your format. I want to come back. I want to hang out with you and Anderson. I'd like to do a show. John, we had him. He's like, what just happened to me? He's like, at 58 years old, I'm rarely surprised or moved by something. What I just went through this morning with you guys, I've never experienced that before. It was pretty cool, actually. He was really complimentary with his experience with us yesterday. But he was nervous, Anderson. He's like, because I didn't know what the hell I was walking into.
And then especially seeing some of our banter in the beginning.
Well, and he couldn't believe we'd never met. He's like, you guys have never met? I go, no. He's like, man, you guys have a chemistry that he goes, you guys go back and forth. But he goes, it reminds me of like old school Stern with Stern and Robin, and they'd be all over him. And he's like, he goes, Anderson jumping up and down on you. And then yesterday, like, I'm just normal dude in front of the camera yesterday, right? So he's like, it was a fun thing. And he tells me, Petro, he goes, I have listened to every Joe Rogan podcast. It's because he runs he spends hours. He's always got stuff in his head.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. I think people
on the show. Our dynamic on the show is really become life its own, because obviously we talk privately.
Yes,
which is not a ton because we talk so much here.
Yes,
but it's a totally different. Like if you were a bird if you were a fly on a wall, in our private conversation, such a different conversation.
So funny. I was giggling. We had you, me, and Ben had a chat last week, and you and I get on the call. We're having a call. I hang up, and I'm like, that was kind of weird because I had a normal chat with you, and I'm like, who was that guy? That's not the guy I talked to in the morning.
Yeah. I think men especially though are really hungry for this.
Yeah, I agree. Yes,
just like genuine conversation.
Yes.
As opposed to 90 minutes, 2 hours of genuine conversation, as opposed to phone all day. And I can tell you that with the F3 boot camp guys that I work out with in the morning, I've been doing it since 15 years now. And I've seen it evolve. it's actually, so we still have our 45-minute workout that starts at 5:30 in the morning.
Yes.
And then,
Yeah.
But then what has happened is all of the workouts have gravitated to coffee houses.
Yes.
Because there's like another hour or hour and a half of guys just hanging around talking bullshit sessions right after the workout.
Yes.
And that's actually that's probably more well attended than the workouts now, because then you got guys coming from other locations to the same places, and they're really hungry for that, and they really look forward to that. So I think people are hungry for just genuine conversation. It's
true. It's true. Well, and one thing Jack said too is he really enjoyed the format. He's like, I love how fast it was. You guys dropped this here. He goes, unpredictable over there, and he goes, I really enjoyed the speed of it. So Johnny, I expect we might see more of Jack, and Jack wants to do some business with us. So he's like, I got to do something with you guys. He goes, I need to be a part of what you guys are doing. I don't know how he goes, but I need to be a part of that. I was like, okay, let's do it. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, guys, I've kept a little bit of overtime. I know I don't want to keep you from betting there, Johnny. Petra, I'll get you out of here as well. So much fun. I always look forward to our Fridays. I feel like I laugh more than ever on Fridays, which is so much fun. You guys have yourself an awesome day. Don't be climbing the sphere.
You don't have to worry about that.
Okay, guys, have a good one. We're going to walk Petra out of here, Anderson out of here. We'll keep the show going. Love you guys.
Have a good
one. All right, love you guys.
Brothers.
All right, guys. Take care.
Hey, John. Hey, Professor. Before you go, a doctor says don't do this position because one wrong bouncing cowgirl can literally fracture it. Doc says the warning sign is a pop, not champagne. Instant pain, swelling, bruising. The whole situation turns purple like it lost a fight. The mood killer? Immediate erection loss. That's not a cool down, that's the credits rolling. Worst part is the sequel. Heal wrong and you can get Peyronie's. Curved erections, chronic issues. Your penis starts doing interpretive dance. So the doc's basically saying, stop treating sex like a UFC highlight reel. Respect the anatomy, or it'll fold like a lawn chair.
Hey guys, what's your take on this one? Is it a BS or no BS?
Yeah, I fucked up. I fucked up. Petro and Anderson. Oh, John, before you go. Yeah, I totally forgot before you go. Shit. Okay, hey, they didn't see it though, so we can redo that one on Monday because that was a good fucking scene, man. Yeah, that handsome dude there walking out with the glasses and the hat to his car. Woo, baby. Yeah, love that one. Okay, well, listen, what a fun. I was too busy laughing, team. Just so fucking just busy laughing. Hey, Charlie, CNN said Michael J. Fox passed away last week. Oh my God. That's crazy, dude. That's absolutely crazy. Nino Fincher, good to see you out there in the community. David Kirkland, we got Rico out there, and of course we got everybody's yelling, screaming at each other, the world fucking ending, screaming, yes. No. There's kindness rising there. True story. Yes. What's going on, Matty Roof? 7:30 Eastern time, right here on the network. Okay, Maya Reyes has the day off today, guys. Yes, I gave Maya the day off. So we're going to do the morning focus. She's doing some track work today. So we're going to do a morning focus segment. And then we're going to wrap it up a little early on a Friday, guys. Here, and true story. I got a date on my bike in 23 minutes. I got a ride I want to do, and I want to do it. So I'm going to get on it. And so I can get back to work for the rest of the day with my team as we build the big morning show. We call it Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. And hey, I got 57 seconds. And when I come back, I'm going to talk about this. The creator economy is quietly replacing all of you, all of us. And we're doing it ourselves. With what? With their own avatars. Coming up, the morning focus in 57 seconds.
We're watching creators get duplicated, not by rivals, by their own machines that can post, sell, and smile without them.
Creativity isn't out the crisis. Presence is. When a clone shows up for us, trust starts getting negotiated instead of earned.
We keep saying, it's just tools. It's not. It's a replacement bid on our voice, our timing, and our point of view.
The cost isn't abstract. It hits our reputation. It hits our relationships. If we outsource ourselves, we lose the part people came for.
The move is simple. Systemize output, not identity. Automate tasks, not character. Keep the human edge where trust lives.
So here's the real question. Do we want scale or do we want integrity at scale? There's a difference.
and it decides what we become.
Keith's about to break this down. Listen like it's about your name, because it is. Let's get into it.
Petro comes back and says, yeah. I inserted that word, Petro. Moms and dads. Another big BS story told to children is there is a chemical compound in the pool that detects urine. Every kid learns that isn't true. Yeah, I learned it again last summer because, yeah, well, you pee in the pool, didn't turn blue. There you go. That's fuck. We all these little things, eh? These little things we learn that aren't true or are true or they're bullshit. Hey guys, the creator economy is quietly replacing all of us with their own avatars, and we're doing it. And I want to talk a little bit about it with you guys because there's something happening right now that I think most people are wildly, and I mean wildly, underestimating. And it's the creator economy. It's not just evolving. No, it's starting to replace people with versions of themselves. And actually, we do it daily. If you're paying attention, you see that I'm the live guy every single day here, 2 hours in the morning. But then after that, every piece of content that is out there on the internet is not me. It's my avatar. And as the creator economy pivots to replace people with versions of themselves, they're not doing it with competitors, not other creators, not some giant media company. No, their own avatar, their own clone, their own trained voice, their own digital personality. I talked to a doctor yesterday. He's like, hey, Keith, can I make an AI version of myself? I was like, yeah, how can I help? And a lot of people still think this sounds futuristic, including the doc I talked to yesterday. It's not futuristic. No, it's already here. And the weird part is this. Most creators that I talk to still think that the threat to AI is AI replacing creativity. No, actually, that's not what I believe is happening. That's not the real story at all. The real story is that AI is starting to replace presence, starting to replace you. And the presence is where the trust has always lived. That is the shift. Because content was never just about information. We've been talking about it all morning. Misinformation, information. Think about it. Somebody's kind to you, you might believe them. Information is about tone, timing, energy, chemistry, surprise, tension, a point of view. Who do you believe? It was about you. But now we're entering a world where the market is asking a very, very, very dangerous question. Do we need you? Do we? Do we need you? Or do we just need a version of you that can scale? Because that is a very different question. Again, we're doing it here. 2 hours live, you got me. And then every other time of the stuff I'm creating is the AI version of me. And let me be clear, I am not anti-AI, actually, obviously, because I'm building with it every single day. I believe deeply, very deeply, that the future of media is part human, part machine. I'll say it again. I believe the future of media, morning media especially, is part human, part machine. But this next part I want to say is what matters. The people are not going to be the people who automate. The winners out there. The winners moving the needle in the world of media are not going to be the people who automate themselves into oblivion. No, the winners are going to be the ones who understand what should be systemized and what should stay unmistakably human. And that's exactly why we have built Character Engine as a part of Conversation OS. Because if this future is coming, and it's coming, then creators, founders, hosts, media brands are going to need more than random AI tools. Trust me on this one. They're going to need infrastructure. Yes, baby, infrastructure, the plumbing, the electricity, the framework to make those characters come to life. They'll need a system for building characters with consistency, with memory, with personality, with emotional logic, a worldview, a voice, and a purpose. No, I'm not just talking about these avatars that talk. No, and I'm not just talking about bots that spit out content. No, real character architecture. Who's building it? We are. Because the next era of media will not just be built on content, calendars, and clips, even though that is part of Conversation OS. The content calendars, the clips, the distribution of all that content. That doesn't stop. But instead, it's going to be built on entities, personalities, hosts like Cheryl Whitaker, like Matt Roof, like John Anderson, co-hosts like Frankie, Tommy, Sterling, Maya, world like the Mornings in the Lab world, the What the Truck world, It Starts with Joy world, recurring voices coming in and out of these environments, digital humans, character ecosystems. That, my friends, is where this is going. And the people who think this is gimmicky, go keep eating your dog food. Because you're making the same mistake people made when you dismissed YouTube, when you dismissed podcasts, when you dismissed me saying, oh, what are you starting? You're starting some community management moderation company? What the hell is that? Yeah. Because you're all judging the early version of this thing. My invitation is go look around the corner. Because instead of understanding where the thing is headed, people are still stuck on what they see today. The guy's got 4 fingers. He's got 5 fingers. He has a different accent all the time. Sure, that's fair. But here's what I believe. Here's what I believe so vociferously today. Most creators are going to use AI lazily. Yeah, there's the word, lazily this morning. A few are going to use it architecturally. There's a difference. Is your character going to be a sticker? Is your character going to change its voice all the time? Or is your character going to be consistent? Because an architectural AI gives you leverage, it gives you scale, it gives you identity, and an entirely new media format. And that is why we created Character Engine, because the future is not just content conversation. No, it's starting conversations. It's character creation. It's universes, it's multi-universes, it's multi-story worlds. And the future creators who win this are not just building audiences, my friend. No, they're building universes. So if you want to understand where this is going, I invite you, go look at characterengine.live, because this is not some home side experiment. No, this is the infrastructure for what comes next. And you're seeing it come to life every single morning right here on Mornings in the Lab. And most people, as I observe, are still laughing because they think that the avatar is the story. And I love this one because, yeah, it's not. No, the avatar is just the surface of what you see. The real story nation, is that the media we are creating is becoming more than ever programmable. Personality is becoming scalable. And character, and the universes we create, well, that's becoming infrastructure. And when you add all that up, nation, when you add all that up and you look to the future, it changes everything. Whoa! Boom, boom! Wow. As Krasky would say, hey, Jimmy, guys, what a fun show. I am wrapping it up a little bit early today because I made an agreement with myself. I got a non-negotiable over there in 13 minutes. So for myself, for my mental health, for my body, for me, and I'm going to go do that. And I hope you guys will do something. If you haven't done something for yourself this morning, I hope you will. I hope you'll take my lead and do something too. We got David Kirkland Finance actually about the pool. I watched a kid when I was little form a red ring around him because he peed in the pool. This was 40 years ago, of course. Are you sure, David Kirkland, or did that happen just recently? Yeah, and I appreciate your good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And Mike Sullivan, guys, let's just do a big old thank you from the entire Mornings in the Lab community. Rico, Kirkland, Kindness Rising, Petro, Charlie, Cheryl. Sullivan put $30 on the table today, brother. So kind of you, man. So kind. I appreciate that. Nino Fincher joining us this morning. That's also very kind of you, Nino. And then, guys, I haven't said this for a while, but you guys have a choice where to spend your mornings. And for those of you that spend time with me, I'm very, very grateful for that, man. We got Charlie coming in. My son registered his trade name with the town yesterday. Youngest entrepreneur to do so in town. Same with his checking business account. Yes! Fucking love that. Thanks for sharing that, Charlie. That is so good, man. And it's not lost upon me that Charlie's son is gone to the bank, setting up his checking banking. What is it with you fucking Americans going to the bank? I can't remember the last time I walked into the bank. Charlie, what the hell, man? You're sending your son to the bank? Like, I'm surprised he's not like, Dad, I don't go to the fucking bank. Like, this is all digital shit. So good stuff, Charlie. Oh, man, I love that. That's so good news. Hey, guys, we're back here. When? Next week, like we always are, in less than 48 hours or something like that. Yeah, that conversation happens mornings right here on the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. Of course, start 7:30 Eastern Time with Matt Roof. Yeah. So next week, we got a whole bunch of stuff. Small. I figured it was a small town, Charlie. That's awesome. Yeah, you guys have internet, or do you have to go out of town to connect to the show? Oh, man. All right. We're going to wrap up. What a fun show today with Ramon Velez. We talked about the science of misinformation with John Anderson, John Petrocelli, Ramon Velez. We learned about dick sizes, Jimmy. We did. Yes. Notice I said that to you, Jimmy, not to Kai. We talked about the creator economy is quietly replacing people with their own avatars. And then next week on Center Stage, we got a hell of a lineup. Peter Wachtel on Monday. He designed Spider-Man's #1 toy. Hey, Jimmy, was that Peter climbing up fucking the Sphere in Vegas yesterday? Maybe, I don't know. A conversation about creative reinvention, building iconic things behind the scenes, and why walking away from the flashy path can sometimes be the honest one. We got that one coming up on Friday. Hey, looks like, on Friday, we got Howard Stephen Berg coming up as well. He read a 1,500-page bill on live TV in 50 minutes. Wow. And then he trained special forces to think faster. Interesting stuff coming up on the show next week on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. All right, guys, we'll see you in less than 48 hours. I got to get out of here. I'm going to go change and go get some, go take care of my dad bod. David, I appreciate you, man. 100% at the Pan Am. That's funny, man. Guys, enjoy your day. Enjoy. Hey, Kirkland, at the Pan Am, I guess in the Pan Am pool here in Winnipeg. I'm curious, man. That's awesome. Is that what you mean, David Kirkland? If that's the scoop, dude, welcome to the show. I didn't know you're joining me from Winnipeg. If that's the case, that is effing awesome. How did you find us? Where did you find us? And thanks for discovering the show. Yes, Charlie, you have yourself a great weekend, too. Everybody have yourself a great weekend. We're going to get out of here. We'll see if Kirkland drops that. I'm waiting for you, Kirkland, to hear what you have to say. Are you in Winnipeg? Hey, Jimmy, Kai, it's fucking blizzarding here in Winnipeg. Yeah, like snow and rain and just crazy shit, man. But, all right, guys, I'll see you guys in less than 48 hours. Have a fun weekend. And I know it's fucking hot there, Kai. I heard from Jimmy this morning, 30, 35 degrees. Yikes. Yeah, it's too hot there. We got a blizzard here, but everything's good. We'll see you guys in 48 hours on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We'll see you guys. Have a good one.